Melanie, can I talk to you for a moment? It's about that man, Trevor, that you brought over the other day. Are you seriously thinking of marrying that man?
Huh? Where did this come from? Yes, I do. I already talked to you about this, didn't I? The whole point of me bringing him over was to let you meet him before we started making wedding plans.
Yes, of course. I understand that. But have you not heard anything since then about how he had a change of heart and didn't want to get married anymore? You haven't heard about anything like that?
What? What makes you think I would have heard something like that from him? Could you not just casually ask about something with such serious implications? Here I was feeling relieved that it looked like you were getting along really well with him, and now you come out with this talk? Trevor is not the kind of cold-hearted person who would do something like that.
Yes, I get it. Your father and I certainly got the impression when we met him that he was quite a sincere person. There's no way I would say something so terrible at someone you clearly have such feelings for.
Okay, sure, if you say so. But that just begs the question. Why would you go and say something that sounds like you're expecting the two of us to break up?
Yes, well, about that. Melanie, I want you to let go of Trevor and let Emily be with him instead.
I'm sorry, what?
Don't you I'm sorry, me. I made myself quite clear, didn't I? I think Emily is a far better match for Trevor than you are, so she should be the one to marry him.
You think what now?
I am not going to repeat myself. You need to break off your engagement with Trevor immediately.
Hold on. You're being serious right now. This isn't some elaborate joke you're trying to pull?
I had a talk with our family, and it has been decided that we're going to have Emily marry Trevor instead of you. Starting today, we are considering Trevor to be engaged to Emily.
What the heck are you talking about?
We believe that your cute little sister is more than fit to marry Trevor, so there shouldn't be any problems. You're her older sister. There's nothing strange about giving her something she wants, is there?
Yes? There's lots of things strange when it comes to giving away the man who proposed to me. An engagement isn't something where you can just switch up one of the people involved, like you're subbing out an injured football player. There's no way Trevor is going to be okay with this.
What are you talking about? There isn't a man on earth who wouldn't be happy to marry Emily. I mean, look at her. She's the most beautiful woman in the area. Everyone agrees. With someone like her still single and being such a good match for him, it's not your place to speak up against the idea.
I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. I think I have a right to a say about my own engagement.
Thankfully, whether or not you understand doesn't matter. No matter how much you struggle to accept it, we have decided as a family that Emily will marry Trevor. I'll be contacting him shortly about our desire to break up the engagement. So please try not to get in the way of their love, okay? You aren't going to be the one seeing him anymore, understand? Just be a good girl and let it go.
Trevor, are you there? My family hasn't tried to bother you about anything, have they?
Oh, Melanie, I was just about to contact you actually.
Oh no. So someone's already talked to you, haven't they?
Yes, they did. Your mother just sent me an extremely troubling message just a minute ago. It was about her saying that I was to start living together with your younger sister without delay.
What? That's what she's trying to get you to do?
I mean, I don't think this message is your fault, but this still is a bit much. It really threw me for a loop when I first looked at it.
I think I see what happened. When you came to meet my parents the other day, They forced you to give them your number, didn't they? I'm sorry. I should have done something to try to stop them.
Don't apologize.
Huh?
I just told you that I didn't think it was your fault, didn't I? You've done nothing wrong. I only gave your mother my number because I thought it would be essential to keeping track of what her intentions were with me. Well, that, and it probably wouldn't have looked good if I refused the request.
Huh? What do you mean, keeping track of her intentions?
Well, I didn't tell you about it earlier, but something really strange happened when I came to your parents' house. Your mother quietly came up to me and whispered, "My daughter Emily is much prettier, so I'll have you get engaged to her instead." She kept saying stuff like that. "I'll be sure to get Melanie to break off the engagement so it doesn't look bad for you." I wasn't really sure whether to tell you about this or not at first, but while I was thinking about it, she just kept pestering me with messages. It seems like this is what she was leading up to.
Oh, well, she did all that. That's just crazy. I never imagined she would come up with this scheme like this.
Yeah, well, when I had first met her, she seemed to be paying very close attention to anything I did. She honestly just seemed overly intense, even when she was staying quiet. Even with that attitude though, I can't say I ever expected her to be planning to try to change the person I would marry until she whispered that to me. Frankly, I still couldn't believe it when she said it, but I also couldn't think of any reason why someone would say something like that as a joke.
I am so sorry.
Hey, come on. Didn't I already tell you not to apologize? This is your mom's fault, not yours. Anyway, I already sent her a reply, refusing her request, or maybe I should call it her demand with how she was talking. That said, it might be easy for me to just send her a refusal. But getting her to actually accept it is another thing entirely.
Yeah, you're definitely right on that one. She's not going to take this lying down. She's the kind of mother who wants to grant every little wish of her favorite daughter. Unfortunately, that favorite daughter is my little sister, not me.
Wow, are you serious? It sounds like your life growing up must have been tough. Anyway, what should we do about this?
First off, I think you should try to avoid contact with her as best as you can.
Avoid her? What do you have in mind?
Well, I think there's a pretty likely possibility that she will try to find your address. So you might want to stay somewhere else for a while. My place won't work since she knows where I live already. Do you have a friend or a relative you can stay with for a while?
I can ask my cousin for help. He doesn't live too far away. He might be able to let me stay with him for a while.
Oh, yeah. He's the one who's living alone the next town over, right? Isn't he a college student?
Right on both counts. Now that I think about it, it's actually a pretty great plan. Since I'm a freelancer, I don't have any sort of office to report into that your mom can try to barge in on. And since my cousin is in another town, it should be easy for me to lay low there without any chance of just running into her randomly on the street.
Yeah, that is a good idea.
Okay, I'll contact him right away. Now that I think about it, my current apartment is going to be undergoing renovation soon. They offered me a deal to vacate my place, so I might just be able to move pretty soon anyway. It's an option at least.
I'm really sorry that my stupid mother is making you go to all this trouble.
No, don't worry about it. I'll give you a call once things have quieted down, okay? Take care.
Thanks. Hopefully things settle down quickly. You be careful too.
Hello, Melanie. It looks like you've managed to break off the engagement with Trevor. I'd say you deserve some praise for your understanding. You really have turned into a great older sister, haven't you? You finally learned to think about the happiness of your sister before yourself.
What's this now? What are you talking about? I haven't broken off my engagement. What makes you think I have?
Pardon me? Oh dear. Are you really still saying things like this? Don't tell me you've been up to no good behind my back. Just what are you scheming? I will never forgive you if you continue trying to steal Emily's happy life away.
Okay, I am completely lost. What the heck are you talking about? For starters, Emily and Trevor have never even met each other, right? Even when I brought Trevor over to meet you, Emily was out with some friends or something, right?
Well, yes. That day is still yet to come. But once that day comes, they'll be seeing each other all the time. So there won't be a problem.
Once that day comes? Are you delusional?
How rude. Look, when Trevor came to see us, your father followed him home to figure out where he lived.
Oh, you did you?
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing creepy at all, sure. Be quiet, I'm not finished. We sent Emily over there, and she should be introducing herself to him right now.
Wait, are you serious? You actually tailed him home?
What choice did we have? No matter how much we asked him, he just wouldn't tell us his address. How else were we going to find out? If Emily's going to start dating him, we would need to know his address. It's obvious that it falls to her parents to get that information, isn't it?
What are you talking about? You are completely insane. None of this is anywhere near normal, let alone obvious.
There you go with your rude remarks again. I thought it would be good to speak to you just in case, and it looks like I was right. Before you go trying to say anything, you should know that Trevor and Emily have already started dating. We even started having the two of them live together just 3 days ago.
Having them live together?
They have been hitting it off quite well. It looks like they've already started forging a deep bond. So you should just step aside and let it happen already.
Ah, I see. Is that so?
Well, yes, of course. You may not want to admit it to me, but I know you know how much better Emily is for him.
Sure. Whatever. Okay, fine. So you won't need that monthly $2,000, right? Got it.
Excuse me? What? $2,000 are you talking about? I'm not aware of anyone making monthly payments.
Oh, don't tell me you've actually forgotten. Don't you remember? 7 years ago, Dad's old company went bankrupt. Sure, he got a new job pretty quickly. But if you remember, his salary was a pittance compared to his old job. That's why you asked me to send you $2,000 every month to make up for some of the income he lost. Did you really forget?
Wait, what? You're telling me that you've still been doing that? That's been continuing these whole 7 years?
Well, neither of you ever really talked to me about stopping, so I just kind of kept going along with it. I mean, sure, I felt like giving you $2,000 a month was going a bit overboard. But I knew that at the time Emily was hard at work at a private high school and learning from extra tutors too. I figured those extra expenses added up quite a bit, so I didn't really complain. I thought you'd tell me when you didn't need the money anymore. My job pays me well enough that even with that amount going out every month, I was far from destitute anyway. So I just quietly accepted it. Despite what you may think, I do actually care about Emily after all. Though, frankly, the number one reason I kept sending you the money was that I knew she would leave the house eventually. Once she was supporting herself, especially once she got married, I knew she could handle herself just fine. I just wanted to support her until then. Since she's leaving now, I figure that Dad's current income is enough to support just the two of you, isn't it? With Emily gone, there's not really any reason for me to keep sending you money anymore, is there?
Wait, hold on a moment. If that's how it's going to be, then just wait. I'll bring Emily back here right away.
Oh, what's that now?
Look, it's fine if you don't want to break off the engagement with Trevor. I won't stop you, okay? So please don't stop sending us the money. Please, just keep sending it like you have up until now.
Excuse me?
I'm telling you, I'll contact Emily right away. So please, keep sending us the money.
Hey Trevor, the avoidance plan was a great success. Not only that, your idea of moving just made it that much better.
Oh, it was? What, did you hear something from your mom?
Yeah, you could say that. When you left my house after meeting my parents, it turns out my dad tailed you. That's how they managed to learn where you live.
What? He was tailing me the whole way home.
Sometime afterward, it sounds like they sent Emily to your apartment.
Are you serious? That's not just creepy. That's downright terrifying.
That's not all. Mom told me that Emily had started living with you a few days ago.
Wait, she said what? No. I haven't so much as seen her. She's not living with me.
Relax, I know. I was certain that wasn't actually the case. Though, now that I think about it, if Mom were to have actually sent Emily to your apartment, where is she now? Wait, hold on.
Is something wrong?
I just got something from Emily. Apparently, she just called me. That's surprising. I don't remember the last time she actually called me. When I call her, she just doesn't respond.
She might be calling because of this whole incident. Why didn't you call her back?
Good idea. I'll give her a call. I'll talk to you later.
Melanie, pick up the phone. Do you have any idea where Emily is?
Huh?
Not just her. I went to Trevor's apartment and he wasn't there either. I was so sure that they had already started living together. But when I got there, I didn't find anyone. They couldn't have possibly ran away and eloped, could they?
Well, you're half right, I suppose.
What? Half?
Well, I can say that her partner isn't Trevor, at least.
What are you saying? What do you mean it isn't Trevor?
I heard it all from Emily directly. Mom, you knew that Emily already had a boyfriend, didn't you?
Well,
Her boyfriend works in civil engineering, so he didn't exactly have a high salary, right? According to Emily, you seem to hate that about him. That's why you did everything you possibly could to get in the way of their relationship. And were scheming to split the two of them apart. Am I wrong?
Well, what else could I do? If she married a man with such a pitiful salary, she'd be headed straight for a horrendous life of destitution.
And that's why you tried to force her to marry Trevor, right?
Well, of course. He's obviously a much better choice than some man who can barely earn a living doing a filthy job like civil engineering.
So, putting aside your disgusting attitude towards some people's professions, I'm familiar with the company that Emily's boyfriend works at. That company actually pays a pretty high salary compared to the rest of that industry, you know?
What?
The company's president is quite a kind person and cares a lot for his employees. He knows that he expects a lot of physical labor from his employees, but he's done a great job of incentivizing them to do good work. Thanks to all of that effort, the employees there have a really trusting relationship with him, and he gives them all the benefits they really need. From what I understand, it's probably one of the best companies someone in that industry could work at. I'm guessing you just oppose Emily dating him based on what you thought of his job without actually looking into where he worked, right?
I never thought that such a company could ever exist, especially in an industry like that.
If you had actually listened to what Emily had to say, you would have known. Well, I guess it's too late to worry about that now.
What do you mean it's too late?
Well, here's the thing. You told Emily to go to Trevor's apartment, right? Well, and what probably would come as no surprise to anyone but you, she didn't. She took your ridiculous demand and used it as a chance to escape from the house that had been shackling her for so long. In other words, she fled to her boyfriend's place.
What? She fled?
Not only that, apparently they filed their marriage registration not too long ago as well.
No way. How do you know all of this?
Funny you should ask that. For how much you tried to claim I was getting in the way of her happiness, I still care about her quite a lot. So when Emily called me yesterday, we spent a long time talking with each other about what was happening. Sure, I've always been a bit jealous of how you and Dad always doted on her more than me, but she had her own struggles to deal with too. Yesterday was a day I finally got to hear her true feelings.
Hey, Melanie. About that $2,000 you've been sending.
What? You think now is a good time to bring that up?
Look, your father hasn't received a raise in I don't know how long. And, well, our monthly expenses are a bit...
If there's only the two of you living there, you should have no trouble living on Dad's current income. Actually, speaking of income, Mom, why don't you start working as well?
What? Me? Work?
What are you so surprised about? Yes, I'm saying you should earn some money yourself. This is exactly the time where a husband and wife should be supporting each other, isn't it?
Oh, wait. Hold on. That's not...
Emily and I have both managed to find amazing spouses. So please just step aside and don't try to get in the way of our happy lives, okay? A few days later, my mom and dad apparently got divorced with the loss of the extra money from me. Dad was starting to feel the effects of his meager salary. However, he also felt indebted to his current job. He felt like he couldn't let Mom know about it and was hoping she would start working to help support the two of them. But she wasn't budging. He was already feeling doubts about her due to her lack of support when he found out about her selfish attempt to control who Emily and I married. Upon hearing that, it was the last straw for him. Shortly afterward, I received a message from him, and I think Emily did too. It was a thorough apology for everything that happened to us, and an announcement that he had divorced Mom. And so our family was effectively broken up for good. Though it's not like we don't talk to each other. Emily, Dad, and I have a group chat that we use to tell each other about recent events in our respective lives. As for Mom, though, she no longer had a place to call home anymore. She had a number of relatives, but she hadn't spoken with any of them for a very long time, so she didn't have anyone she could depend on. It sounds like she's finally starting to understand how difficult it is to live on her own. Now it seems she's lamenting over having to work a job with very low pay and is living a life full of sorrow and tears.